Morning, everybody. It's Monday, the 28th of September. We're Signal Centre Talking Ball. I'm Joe Neighbour, joined by Ian Coleman and Steve O'Hare. Morning, guys.
Morning, all.
Good morning. Morning.
Have a nice weekend.
Very nice. Yeah, a little bit chilly.
It was a little bit chilly, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to buy oil this morning because it's getting colder.
Yeah.
That's
It's always a good trade, isn't it, for this time of year? Yeah. So anybody get up to anything good?
No.
No. Chillax.
Long and short of it? No, I didn't.
Yeah. Went for a couple of big walks, and that was about it, really.
Oh,
with,
cool.
with a pint on the end of them, which was quite nice.
Yeah, it was young Ralph's birthday. Cookie's son. Yeah.
Curly Head Ralph.
Yeah, curly head Ralph.
15, isn't he, I saw?
15, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
No, not so Curly Head Ralph now and then, probably.
No, still curly head Ralph.
Oh, right, okay.
Lovely curly head Ralph.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Ralph.
Yeah, he got a nice Xbox controller.
Oh,
which
cool.
I was very jealous of.
Cool. Right, Steve, on to more pressing matters. Arsenal Liverpool this evening.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah. As I said just off air, I was pretty confident, really confident going into this match. First time I've been really confident in a long while, so that's not a good thing. But our goalkeeper and our new signing, Thiago's, looks like they won't be playing. So a little bit less confident, but I'm sure the Arsenal defence will give us a few gifts tonight.
Oh yeah, probably.
So it could be quite a humdinger of a game. Could be a high-scoring game.
Let's hope so. Let's hope football's the winner.
And Liverpool,
and
obviously.
Yeah. Lovely stuff. Okay, so back to markets. It's been a fairly interesting start to proceedings today. I woke up this morning with checking the news and seeing the stuff about Trump. I don't know if you're across that, you two?
No, not seen anything yet.
Okay, so New York Times published an article.
His tax
returns, saying that he's only paid $750 in US income tax in both 2016 and 2017. That's according to 2 decades worth of tax records, which have been obtained by the New York Times. He is the only president, I think, that's not published his tax returns, and he was immediately kicked back with fake news, as he tends to on Twitter.
So he's going to have to publish them then, isn't he?
Causing a bit of an issue, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I think it said something like he's only paid tax 10 out of the last 15 years or something. Was that right?
Yeah, something crazy like that.
If you mix that up with his Deutsche Bank loans, it looks quite messy, doesn't it?
Yeah, he was already doing some investigative journalism on that for us. And this is the Twitter account, so you can see there. Shortly after this was published, fake news, not having it.
I love that picture below.
Yeah, it's the best place to find some comedy. Just go through the comments on these things.
Yeah,
brilliant.
The truth will out.
Yeah. So he's got a task on his hands to try and convince people otherwise, I think, and he's also got this live debate on Tuesday with Joe Biden, which is the first time they go head to head, and I'm expecting that to be a pretty interesting watch as well, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be the forefront of the questions, isn't it?
Oh yeah, they're just going to grill him on that and just not let him breathe, I would have thought.
And when's that, Joe?
Tuesday, tomorrow.
Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine it'd be quite late UK time.
Excellent.
But yeah, it could be worth staying up to watch that, I think. So what's going on with the markets this morning? I see the indices are off to a fairly strong start, bouncing back from last week.
Yeah, I think we do have risk on today. Just looking at the dollar.
Through some charts.
I'll have a quick go. I've got. I was basically looking at the weekly charts. So initially, obviously, here we go. Here's this sort of formation is quite bearish. So if we get a break of 57.70 in FTSE, that's a bit bearish, but it has got off to a good start, as you say. So the shorter term charts are looking not bad at all. A potential triple bottom in the 4-hour chart on FTSE. We'll get a double bottom here if we break above 59.77, so that's not far away. And if we break above 61.27, which is a bit further, maybe later in the week, if we get this continuation, then that would be a really good sign for the FTSE. So that's going slightly against what the longer term charts look like. Again, you're sort of seeing the similar sort of formation. We had doji the week before last, and last week was a bearish week. So you're going to see these sort of bearish formations on the indices across the board, really. Dow Jones, we saw broke out this ending wedge of the weekly chart, and again it closed below it, so it's bearish, but we've got off to a good start. So a little bit, although it's been a good start this week, the one that sort of didn't look so bad was the S&P had a lovely recovery Friday, and that's posted a bullish hammer. So maybe that's the one that's going to lead the way. Aussie 200 is trapped in this rectangle formation, and we've got sort of an ending wedge here on Nikkei, China, and Hang Seng. Obviously, Hang Seng, remember, that is the one I've said is sort of for me is the one that's really going to struggle.
Is that the daily chart, Stevie?
Is that's the weekly on the Hang Seng. Also saw a little headline this morning, and it's more of a sort of commodities type thing. China's capital called on importers on Monday to shun frozen food from countries suffering from severe novel coronavirus outbreaks after several cases of imported seafood products testing positive for the virus.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I don't know. I don't, could be fake news, could not be fake news. Don't know. So that could be just a way of the government trying to stop people, trying to stop countries importing and just using their own resources. I don't know. I don't believe anyone nowadays. So yeah, pretty much from a weekly perspective, pretty bearish, but bounce back today could be a selling opportunity, really. But S&P could be.
Do you want to have a quick look at the S&P? And
yeah, of course, yeah.
So this is the daily chart. Obviously, he's looking more on the weekly chart, but this is the daily chart, and potentially a bit of a wedge breakout here on the Nasdaq, and a similar situation on the S&P 500. Loads of coronavirus, buy markets, president cheats on taxes, buy markets, just it doesn't matter what it is, just buy the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not quite as the same on the Dow Jones, but yeah, possibly a bit of an extension higher on those, maybe in the short term. Clearly the underlying bias is bullish, so maybe just a continuation high there on stocks, maybe for the short term, unless it's in the process of building a bigger top, which may come in coming weeks if it does something like that. Goes down, but unlikely given that it just always goes up. So
well, we've got the sort of like we've always got the Santa rally coming as well. We've got the election, we've got the Santa rally, and then January's the real, everyone wakes up after a hangover on New Year's Day and thinks, no, let's get real, and then the market collapses.
Reality. Yeah.
So maybe maybe we sort of have got this sort of this is just a continuation higher, and have to look a bit further down the line if we want to see any sort of selling opportunities. But
I think you're right on the European ones. They're just sort of broken out these wedges to the downside on the daily charts, looking for a retest up there on DAX, potentially sell. Certainly Europe doesn't look anywhere near as good as the US stuff. So potential for opportunities in both directions, I think. Ian, do you want to take a look at some FX stuff?
Yeah. Dollar index first, because obviously safe haven. So if stock indices move to the upside, dollar index should move lower. The long-term picture, I think, is still bullish. I mean, this is the monthly chart. That's that trend line support we talked about. It's extremely likely, 28th of September, that we're going to get a bullish outside candle on the monthly chart, which normally highlights the base of a trend. If we go to this time frame, weekly, we can see 5 waves to the downside, quite a decent move higher, but I think this is quite interesting. This is the daily chart. Now, if you're thinking about Elliott wave, normally 5 waves down and then a very complex 3-wave move to the upside. Now, the first wave can be, and is normally in 3 waves, not 5 waves, and this often catches a lot of people offside, basically. We've got a swing low here from the 9th of March, which comes in at 94.65, and we've been hard pressed to get past that. If we go to this time frame, this looked like a head and shoulders breakout, but we've got a 94.81 is a 161.8% extension. I said 94.65, which is where I'm hovering my cursor at the moment, is that swing low, and I think we're going to get a move back at least to retest this breakout level at 93.86. And like I said, normally the first waves, even though it's got up towards 161.8%, so if you are looking at Elliott wave, you might think this is just a fourth wave correction, but normally this first wave is in 3 waves, then the next one's in 3 waves, and then the impulse move to the upside is in 5 waves. So it's decision time as far as I'm concerned for the dollar. Now that puts all of these in a bit of a mess, because we were looking at a head and shoulders formation. We've got a 161.8% fib here, but this line here is our bespoke support at 161.12, and we're just holding on to that. So I'm wondering again if we're going to come up and retest, obviously inverse to what's happening on the dollar, retest this breakout level at 117.30. Cable's a bit of a different story. I think we've completed 5, and I think we're just going to move higher. Obviously, up here, 130, the figure is a decent level to target, which will probably then form some sort of reverse head and shoulders pattern to move in lower. Shut up.
He's agreeing with you.
No, this will be the postman. He hates him with a passion. It's not the postman, it's the mother-in-law.
All right.
No, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Dollar yen. Dollar yen just moving lower from this. I've got nothing on yen pairs. I'll say that immediately. But dollar CAD again is quite interesting, because we've got up to this fib here as well. So just got to be careful if these big dollar-based currency pairs have all completed 5 waves, then these moves, the next moves to the downside, could just be in 3 waves, is what I'm trying to say. And my favorite pair at the moment is this, really, Aussie dollar. I think with risk on, we're going to move to the upside. And if look at this, it's a bit of a disjointed, which one is it? Butterfly formation. I think that's going to push higher. Euro sterling broken out quite decently. I think we're going to break this low again, 5 up, 3 down. I think this sort of level around here looks prime. Apart from that, nothing really.
Well, that was a very nice roundup. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, cheers.
In terms of news elsewhere, obviously COVID is very much in the news, and there is talk that Spanish politicians are urging authorities in Madrid to impose stricter virus measures. There was also clashes and protests over the weekend in London. Thousands of maskless people, apparently. And also cases in New York topped 1,000 for the first time since June. And hopes around herd immunity have taken a blow off the back of that after research suggested that only 10% of US adults have been exposed to COVID-19. So more concerns over that. Not that you'd think there was, given what the markets are doing this morning, but that's what the news is saying. In terms of Brexit, we have the final scheduled Brexit talks set to go ahead before the end of year deadline. The final scheduled round of Brexit talks gets underway on Monday, with both sides warning that progress must be made in order to meet the October deadline for a trade deal. So although there's nothing specific on the calendar today, there are a few events going on, obviously, with Brexit talks and the televised debate between Trump and Biden tomorrow. Plenty for us to keep interested with, I think, on the markets.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, gun to the head stuff on Friday. It was a bit of a.
Remember what we did?
Well,
yeah, it's a long time ago.
That you two went in the opposite directions on the Dow and the S&P, and you both made money.
Yay!
It's in there.
Oh, you had a super close target, didn't you, for your 15R or whatever it was?
Steve, you were
3R.
targeting a nice swing low on the Dow, and you made 3R on that. Then the indices came roaring back in the afternoon, which put Ian up 1.2R at the 9 o'clock close.
See,
and I had a half an hour loss on Swiss franc, Japanese yen, but overall that is that's decent. A nice 3.72R between us. So nice one, lads. Overall, looking quite nice. Needed to break above that previous high, and then hopefully we can get up to target the previous highs that we set back in June, I think that was.
Yeah,
lovely stuff. So who wants to have a go first?
Well, I'll wait to see what Ian does. I'll do the opposite. We'll both win.
Joe's doing Bitcoin, obviously. Go on, Joe.
Yeah, I'm doing Bitcoin. So
you're there already, aren't you?
Yeah,
or do you want it to move a little bit more?
Hourly chart, very short term. We're talking here. We've got a little bit of bullish momentum. Bit of a breakout above this previous swing high here from last week on the 26th. Was that Friday or Saturday maybe? Broken higher, pull back. Potential for a bit of a flag, so it's very short-term stuff, and looking to target and move up to this swing high that we saw on the 19th of September at 11,180. So buying that now at 10,855. Stop loss at 10,765, which is around that off. 10,855, 11,180, 3.61R.
Lovely.
Very nice.
Good luck.
See how it goes. Right, Ian.
Aussie dollar. Going long at 70.36. I think we might just make a little head and shoulders here, hopefully. And then a stop at 70.004, targeting 72.34, which is 6R, but this is a 4-hour chart, so the chance of me getting up there today are pretty limited. But that's my trade of the day.
Nice one. Oh, Steve's had enough.
Where was he going?
To the door. The girls forgot their key. So I am going to look at gold and silver because I think we haven't really mentioned them this morning, have we?
No, we haven't.
They're under a little bit of pressure. Let's have a quick look at this. Yeah, I mean, look at the weekly chart. Last week was pretty horrendous for the weekly chart. We've had last couple of days, 24th and 25th, a few dojis. This looks pretty weak to me. So let's have a little
bollocks.
No, you're not happy with that. You're long a gold, are you?
Oh no, sorry. I was just doing something. I thought I was muted actually. I was just putting my trade in. And I hit the number thing and it didn't work. Anyway,
you've got this upward trending support. We sort of swung low. Go back to the 24th, Thursday, 1848. We were selling a break there. Didn't quite get triggered, but could be under pressure this morning. If you think of really short term, you've got a top here, break here. This is like a double top formation, and it's sort of like it's almost give me a little bit of a failing sort of like triangle really. So I'm going to not waffle too much more, just going to go for it, just going to sell it. Where am I selling it? 1857. The stop on here, we'll have it 1867, a $10 stop. And target, I'll go to the longer term time frame just to see where the potential targets are. I mean, let's look at this sort of congestion area around about the 1800 mark. So why not go for there? Because if we do get a break in this gold and sort of like a bit of a dollar sort of spike higher, then this would have no problem in going to. We'll go to 1807 as the target. So quite an aggressive target. That's a 5-to-1 risk reward. So stop at 1867, getting short at 1857. It's 1858 now, so you could do better than me.
And 11% from its peak, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's had an. I mean,
it's
quite an extended. Yeah, quite an extended rally. So, and obviously, if you look at the weekly chart, it's closed below this swing low on the 10th of August. So bearish. Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm selling gold.
Yeah,
Cool.
Target 1807.
There's a recap of the ideas then. Steve selling gold at 1857. Ian, you're not buying the S&P, are you?
Yeah,
You're
Aussie
buying
dollar.
Aussie dollar. I'll change that. Apologies. So he's buying Aussie dollar, AUD. Just say Aussie US at 70.36. Stop loss at 70.04. Target 72.34. I'm buying Bitcoin at 10,855. Targeting 11,180 with a stop at 10.765. So let's see how they go. As we said, news-wise, there's not a lot out on the calendar today, but there is Brexit talks going on, and obviously markets may be positioning ahead of this Trump-Biden debate that is happening tomorrow. So I think we can pretty much leave it there, unless anybody's got anything else.
No,
that's all good.
Cool.
Morning,
Excellent.
mate.
Have a good week.
Morning, Connor. Have a good day, everyone.
Quick exit.
Cheers.
See you
Yeah,
later.
bye.
Bye.